a couple of decades back, a downturn or a recession used to be more cyclical. Volatility used to be more cyclical in nature. And people used to know, okay, now it's a downturn and now we have to be very defensive. And more defensive brings more downturn. That used to be the logic. So now, in a VUCA world, downturns, volatility, complexity, sudden setbacks have become a norm. So how do organizations still continue working without getting defensive? A typical example would be Sony Corporation in 2000, which became very defensive, and their profits, really increased by 8%, but their revenues, overall revenues, dipped by almost 15% because of various strategies that they adopted. But these strategies cannot be adopted in a very complex world where setbacks are going to be a norm rather than an exception.
So what we have seen recently is with the borderless technological innovations and completely removing competition from the immediate and getting competition from globe and constant sanctions that governments are constantly giving from anything and everything. It's becoming extremely pertinent to be cognizant of this word VUCA, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, something that got christened during, it's an American College War term, which after 9/11 became extremely prominent. So it's a very pertinent example that you shared in terms of Sony, because for me, there are three kinds of strategies that organizations can adopt when it comes to thriving under difficult economic times. One is going on the defensive, and that's what Sony did. It completely cut down in terms of the workforce, and also that's a very defensive strategy, and that's where you saw the example what happens with Sony. The second example is something going completely on the offensive. That's something what Hewlett Packard did back in the early 2000s. So Carly Fiorina, who was then the chief executive officer for Hewlett Packard, made some strange decisions. They acquired Compaq for $25 billion during a downturn. They made spends of about 9% increase as far as their R&D budget was concerned. There was about a $200 million increase as far as their spends on corporate branding, and about $1 billion spent on ITs in developed economies. In about 4 years' time, once the downturn ended, their profits had nosedived. So the actual and the right way of doing this entire exercise is doing the pragmatic approach. Now in the pragmatic approach, what happens is we primarily cut down on our costs, but that cut down on costs happens through increase in efficiency. One example that comes to my mind is Staples, the guys who, the pins. So when this economic downturn happened in the early 2000s, what they did is they went ahead and closed down all the facilities which were not performing. At the same time, they increased the workforce so that the top line goes up, and also were able to enhance the overall productivity. Another example that comes to my mind is Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble's then CEO, Bob McDonald, what he did during the downturn is he increased the prices of his top performing products. At the same time, just to get the market penetration going, he introduced products of a far lower cost, as a result of which he was able to attract the market because people were able to afford, and the premium customer would also be attracted, as a result of which his top shelf, which was his premium product, would also be consumed. Back in during the Great Depression in the early 1930s, Chevy, the automaker, people were not looking to buy anything. Then they had the highest number of sales that by having a positioning marketing statement for all the women car drivers. Those days it was only newspaper and radio spots. So they captured it through innovative positioning of their product. They did not focus on what their product was. They focused on how their product and why their product is useful for the market segment that they were targeting. So it completely depends ultimately in terms of the kind of marketing strategy I adopt to be able to sail through. And at the same time, when the downturn comes, when people come out of the downturn, we are better positioned. The pragmatic strategy is better positioned to be able to scale up faster.
So that means the older generation organizations should be agile and transform during these complex times. That is one. And are we also referring to a generation gap? Maybe this VUCA term is very something to do with the older generation, and companies like Lenovo are already born in a VUCA generation, and they don't see anything complex about it. That is routine for them. Is that also true?
Before responding to that, let me add on to what Mr. Ghosh said, that are we really in VUCA? That's my question. What is volatile? Some ups and downs. But you are continuously ups and downs, that is the normal. To me, I think we learn to survive in this world. It is no more, I call it VUCA world. It came from the era of the collapse of Enron, the Arthur Andersen scam, the subprime issue in 2007, then the Satyam scam over here. I think, and also the auto town, Detroit became a ghost town, completely went down the downturn, right? I think it taught lessons to all the organizations, individuals a lot. I want to give a very simple analogy how a business would react to is literally how to drive in Indian roads, particularly Bangalore roads, during traffic. What happens when you drive? You have to be cautious which side a bike will come in front of you, which a car come in front of you, or somebody can walking by, but you are cautious, right? You play a little defensively, fine. Then when you got a free road, you become aggressive, and then you make the best out of it, you make up your time. I think businesses, what I'm not suggesting, they're following the exactly same pattern. When there is a uncertainty, they become a little defensive. That's required. Ultimately, they're running a business. Now, when there is economy is booming, they become aggressive. They make it up what they lost it. So I think my response to the previous question is that, stay defensive when there is uncertainty and then be aggressive when there is clear. But your other question around Lenovo picking up, I think the strategies have been changing by the business, right? So I would not call that is because in VUCA world Lenovo born and they pick it up. It's because IBM did not want to, they did not see much innovation happening in the PC business. That's the reason they said, can somebody do? That is one. Second thing is, IBM wanted to get into China. They were not there. And Lenovo is being China, they said it's a probably good sale so that they can sell their components to China market.